So our last lecture on slope deflection method and last numerical example on SD method, and again a sway frame, quite an involved analysis but not really very difficult once you understand all the fundamentals. So let's see what do we have here. This is a frame ABCD, fixed support at A, fixed support at D, span AB, BC, CD, column as well as beam lengths, all of them are 6 meters, and then there is a 50 kilonewton gravity load acting vertically downwards on beam BC. Had this load been acting exactly at the midspan, that is 3 meters and 3 meters, we would have solved this problem as a sway frame problem. However, the load is unsymmetrically acting 2 meters and 4 meters, so we are going to treat this as a sway frame. So we start as usual with our analysis. Degree of kinematic indeterminacy is 3. Unknown joint displacements are theta B anticlockwise, theta C anticlockwise, and delta rightwards. So that is what I have written. Delta B equal to delta C equal to delta, because members are assumed to be inextensible. Once this is done, we go as usual for the step number 1, that is fixed end moments. No load on span AB, neither on CD, so you are getting MFAB is equal to MFBA is equal to MFCD is equal to MFBC, all of them 0. You do have transverse loads on span BC, so you have MFBC. The standard expression is PAB squared upon L square. So on substitution, I am getting 44.44 kilonewton meter anti-clockwise, so I have written it positive, and only that one diagram I have shown here. This is that fixed end moment BC. MFCB, PA squared B upon L square. Small a is left side span, small b is right side span with respect to the point load, and then I am on substitution getting 22.22 kilonewton meter. Since it is clockwise, I have written here negative. So step number 1 is over. We go ahead with step number 2, that is SD equations, slope deflection equations. I start with end moment AB, 4EI upon L into theta A, term absent. MFAB, that term is also absent. So those two terms I am not writing. 2EI by L into theta B minus 6EI over L square delta B relative to A. See the substitution. 2 by 6, span is 6 meters, so 2 by 6, EI theta B factor as it is, minus 6 upon 6 square, so I have written 36. EI into delta B relative to A is delta, but I have substituted negative delta. This negative EI delta actually is EI into negative delta. What is the reason for this negative delta? So in last lecture, in last problem we discussed this, but same diagram I have shown here just to make it clear again. This is your frame. If I rotate column AB clockwise about B point, and if I rotate column CD anti-clockwise about C point, and if I turn this frame into a continuous beam, so that rotation I have shown here in imagination of course, or momentarily of course, and then you are observing that here B is going rightwards. When I rotate it clockwise, B will go downwards. On the other hand, here you are observing that C is also going rightwards. When I rotate it anti-clockwise, it is going to go upwards. Now when I express delta B relative to A, it is downwards. So I am substituting negative delta into EI. Next equation, m of BA, near end rotation contribution, relative translation contribution, substitution. Again, last term is as it is. This negative is making it positive. 6 by 36 EI delta. That is my equation number 2. M of BC. There is a fixed end moment because there is load on the span. There is near end rotation contribution, far end rotation contribution, no relative displacement because delta B is equal to delta C. So delta is relatively 0. There is no relative delta. So I have only these three terms, and then when I substitute, I am getting 44.44, which I am choosing from here, which we have calculated already. 4 by span EI theta B, 2 by span EI theta C. That is equation number 3. Then I am writing MCB, which is going to be NFCB plus 4EI upon L into near end for CB will be theta C, far end for CB member will be theta B. So near end rotation contribution, far end rotation contribution, substitution. This is clockwise 22.22. 4 by 6, 2 by 6, EI theta C, EI theta B. So all this we have done often enough, and I am sure you are following it. However, write on your own, calculate on your own, so you will feel confident. M of CD. M of CD, 4 EI upon L into theta C. No fixed end moment, no far end rotation. So that 2 EI upon L theta D term is absent because theta D is 0. It's a fixed support. Lastly, negative 6 EI over L square delta D relative to C. It is always right relative to left or second relative to first. Coming here, you are observing that C is going up. When C goes up, relative to C, D goes down. Relative to D is not actually moving. However, if CC prime is upwards, relatively D is below C prime. So delta D relative to C will be downwards. That is why again we are substituting this delta D relative to C as negative, as you can observe here. First term is 4 by 6 EI theta C, as it is 6 meters is the span, minus 6 over 36. This EI into negative delta, I have just written as negative EI delta. So students should be very careful while making these sway substitutions, positive, negative, as is applicable, and for that drawing such a diagram while you actually are trying to solve the problem, whether in exam or in homework, it will really help. Lastly, M of DC, far end rotation contribution, that is 2 EI upon L into theta C minus 6 EI over L square delta D relative to C, last term as it is. Substitution of negative delta with outside negative sign has made it positive. This substitution I have done. Now these are 6 equations again in 9 unknowns. 6 end moments which are appearing on 6 equations left hand sides, and on the right hand side you have 3 unknowns, theta B, theta C and delta. So you do require 3 more equations. 2 equations will come from moment equilibrium equations and 1 more will come from shear or force equilibrium equation. So theta B, theta C, there are 2 rotations, so 2 moment equations. 1 translation, so 1 force equation. So that is the cause-consequence relation, or that is the correspondence between rotation and movement, translation and force. So I am writing M of BA plus M of BC should be equal to 0. M of CB plus M of CD should be equal to 0. So as usual, those 2 equations I have written. Then to write the force equation, I have drawn incomplete FBD of the entire frame, and using shear force sign convention, I have shown leftwards BA here, leftwards BD here. Last problem I tried to discuss this sign convention. On the left of the section, upwards is positive. If I take this back, this upwards will become leftwards. Similarly, on the right of the section, downwards is positive. And then if I rotate the column back, then that downwards will remain to be leftwards. So that is why this VA and VD both are shown to be leftwards, and then simply my equation is VA plus VD should be equal to 0. You can say leftwards is negative, so you are writing negative VA plus negative VD equal to 0. No issues. Eventually it will become VA plus VD equal to 0. Now I have written one more equation, but I have involved two more unknowns. So I have to get rid of VA and VD. I have to express VA and VD in terms of moments. See, all these observations that I am making, they are very important. Don't just remember steps and okay, apply these steps and get the solution. Because at some point of time, you may forget. In a tricky question, you may get puzzled, you may get confused, you may get stuck up in your solution. So that is not the way to solve structures problems. You have to understand what you are really doing, the mathematics part, the mechanics part. Now to get rid of VA and VD, I have shown FBD of column AB, I have shown FBD of column CD. This also we discussed in the last example, and only this part, your force equation, this part is new in a sway frame. So no big deal of difficulties involved, nothing like that. This is also, once you get used to it, a pure routine. Anti-clockwise end moments, VA, VB shear forces, anti-clockwise end moments, VD, VC shear forces. Now for both the columns you have to simply apply sigma m about B equal to 0 and sigma m about C equal to 0. You will directly get equations in the form VA is equal to m of AB plus m of BA upon 6 and VD is equal to MCD plus MDC upon 6. As I said last lecture also, you can directly write it like this. Otherwise, actually apply sigma m about B. Unless and until you are very sure of these kind of expressions, actually apply sigma m about B. These two positive terms, this will create a clockwise movement 6 times VA because 6 meters is the span. That negative term if you take on the right hand side and that 6 coefficient if you take in the denominator, you will precisely get this expression as well as this expression. Now what will I do? This VA and VD I will replace by these right hand sides so that I am getting m of AB plus m of BA plus m of CD plus m of DC. Common denominator 6 multiplying with 0 on the right hand side will vanish and I am getting AB plus BA plus CD plus DC end moments summation equal to 0. So these are my 3 equations in 3 unknowns when I substitute from these right hand sides. Which are those? Equation number 7. I will replace MBA and MBC terms by these terms on the right hand side. This is MBA and this is MBC. So the unknowns involved are theta B, theta C, theta B, theta C, like that. Similarly, CB, CD. So I will choose from here. This is m of CB. So the unknowns involved are theta C, theta B again. When I write CD, it is theta C and delta. I will choose from here. This is m of CD. In the same fashion, after writing these two equations, I will directly consider equation here. M of AB plus M of BA plus M of CD plus M of DC equal to 0. Let us call this as equation number 12. So equation 7, equation 8 and equation 12, once you substitute from all these equations right hand sides, they will become 3 equations in 3 unknowns, theta B, theta C, delta. Substitute, use your scientific calculator and directly solve mode 5, and in that you have to go to the second tab so that you solve 3 equations in 3 unknowns. And your answers are EI theta B, negative 42.83, EI theta C positive 23.77, EI delta 28.58. Once you get these three answers, go back to these 6 equations, substitute for thetas and deltas, you will get all end moments. M of AB negative 9.52 kilonewton meter, M of BC 23.8 kilonewton meter, M of BA will be negative 23.8 kilonewton meter. Actually, you will get naturally this answer first, followed by this answer from different equations. Just to save the space in presentation, I am writing BC positive and that is negative of M of BA, and that is what we expect, that BA moment and BC moment should be equal and opposite. Similarly, you will get M of CB as negative 20.61, which will be same as M of CD but with positive value, and finally you will get M of DC is equal to 12.68 kilonewton meters. What is to be done after this? You are very well aware, we have done this n number of times. These are my end moments. Draw the FBDs. FBDs means at least show columns, beam, and according to these signs. For example, this is negative means clockwise, this is positive means anti-clockwise. According to these signs, you first show those end moments. No need to show end shears, no issues. Once you show these end moments, you will perfectly come to know what is sagging and what is hogging. You will come to know means you have to exercise your imagination whether this is going to create a hog or this is going to create a sag, things like that. And once you do that, you are able to draw BMD directly using superposition, end moments and span moments. So, since this is our last problem, and almost for every problem, continuous beams or frames, I have shown you how to generate this BMD. I leave this exercise to the students to generate bending moment diagram for this particular problem. Answers are all here. You can pause the video, you can calculate, you can confirm you are getting the answers, and then try to develop this bending moment diagram. So with this, we have finished our lectures on slope deflection method. In this, we have seen continuous beams, we have seen non-sway frames, and we have seen sway frames. Do not hesitate to apply SD method to frames in exam. Do not think frames are difficult and beams are simple. Nothing like that. Sway frame analysis is slightly more lengthy because you are discussing degree of kinematic indeterminacy as 3. So you have FBD of overall frame for force equation, FBD of each column to convert force quantities into moment quantities. So yes, definitely a couple of steps are more, but otherwise the analysis is as straightforward as any continuous beam analysis. And particularly when there is a question of sinking or there is a question of sway, sinking in case of beams and sway in case of frames, then this diagram you try to develop. In case of beams, it will automatically be generated. I mean, you can actually show that sunk column, and then you can actually decide relatively who is going down, who is going up, things like that. In case of frame, as I discussed, that convert the frame into continuous beam and then adopt the sign convention, downwards is negative, upwards is positive, so that you will be able to get these substitutions for the sway quantities. So great, I thoroughly enjoyed discussing with you slope deflection method, one of the very elementary, one of the very basic methods of analysis of indeterminate structures, and method could be extended for a large number of degree of kinematic indeterminacy, but we are not able to solve so many equations simultaneously. For that we have to go for computer coding, and which is not possible in our theoretical exams, theory exams. You only have your non-programmable scientific calculators. So our problems in exams will be restricted to DKI 3, mostly DKI 2, degree of kinematic indeterminacy. But in practice or in consultancy offices, it is possible to solve problems with even large number of degree of kinematic indeterminacy using slope deflection equations, using proper coding. So thank you very much and see you in the next lecture with yet another mind-blowing method, that is Hardy-Cross method or moment distribution method. Thank you.